So I remember when your goal was to make 5K a month. So now today's February 13th. Could you share how much you made so far?
I made 14K so far,
Yeah,
and I'm projecting it's going to be at least 20K.
crazy. This is awesome.
I started broke. I had
Yeah.
savings and I used all of the savings to start. It was super scary. It's the most amount that I've ever invested. And I was just like, okay, let's do it. And of course, as a beginner, you don't become a millionaire in the first week. I sent Harut a message that I want to stop. It's not for me. I don't think it can really work. We talked and I understood like how insane my thought was. That call was a really big awakening for me that this is the end. There's no going back. I'm doing it. I figured out I want to just go all in on helping people with Skool in Israel. There is a very untapped market here.
He made 14K this month already of cash collected, and it's not even the half of the month, right? So we are gonna break down how you did it, like what worked, what didn't, what are some of the biggest lessons, couple of the biggest failures, right? And then we will dive deep into how you can scale from here to, I don't know, 30K a month, 50K a month, or even more. All right, Yuval, welcome. Good to see you here, man.
Good to see you, man. Good being here.
Of course. So first of all, let's talk about your growth recently, right? So I remember when you wanted to start your online business, your goal was to make 5K a month, right? So now today's February and February 13th, the moment of recording this video. And could you share how much you made so far this month?
Yeah, so January I made my first 10K month, and February is currently today's February 13th. I made 14K so far, and
Yeah,
I'm projecting it's going to be at least 20K.
crazy. This is awesome. So basically, for people listening, the goal was to make 5K a month, and because of Yuval's hard work and some other things that we will discuss later, he made 14K this month already of cash collected, and it's not even the half of the month, right? And I remember the goal that we had was 20K a month in 2025, and it's the second month of 2025. And you are saying that based on projections, you might hit it this year. Not this year,
Yeah,
sir, this month, right?
this
The
month.
yearly goal, it's the second month of the year already, which is really awesome. So we are gonna break down how you did it, like what worked, what didn't, what are some of the biggest lessons, couple of the biggest failures, right? And then we will dive deep into how you can scale from here to, I don't know, 30K a month, 50K a month or more. So yeah, hope this will be both valuable for you and for the people watching. And again, for clarity, this is cash collected, guys. This is not like contracted. This 14K this month so far is cash collected, very high profit margins, no business partner, no split, right? Some expensive software and stuff like that, but mainly it's like very profitable, very good. And also Yuval is excited about this. It's a business that he likes, like serving the clients and all of that. So this is awesome. Of course, not perfect. We will get into it. It takes work and stuff, but that's for clarity for the people. Now, that being said, let's get into like maybe a big level strategy of like how you kind of pick this niche, right? Maybe you can tell people what you do it because it's a little bit interesting because it's not in the English market. And then you can share like what do you sell for, how much do you sell, how it works, why it works, what did you try before, like how did you get here that you made, what did you change that in January made 10K and in February are already at 14K and projecting to make 20K or more. Yeah.
Sounds good. So for everyone who's watching and like in the beginning, I joined the School Games in February 2024. I was super excited. I was saying like I didn't know anything about online. Like I knew about online business, but didn't do anything about it so far. And at that point, then June 24, I decided I'm gonna start it, and from zero, absolutely zero, started uploading videos to Instagram, documenting my journey about building everything. And then August came, I started a community with a friend. We made $3,600 in the first month in MRR. I was like, my mind was blowing because I was like, whoa, what is going on? First time I'm making money online, first time I'm making money in school. Very excited. Then I started working with a lot of people, made a lot of mistakes, like doing some deals, percentages, stuff, trying to help people with growing their school community. Meanwhile, growing my school community with my friend. And yes, then time has passed. I figured out I want to just go all in on helping people with Skool in Israel. Um, So there is a very untapped market here. Nobody really talks about it. I'm basically until today, I'm the only one talking about it in Israel. So I was like, okay, there's an opportunity here. I my biggest bet was that because of a Hormozi, I know people gonna like it, and that's actually what happened. And I'm still going with that mind because people still are going like, dude, what is the difference between a Facebook community? What is the difference between WhatsApp community? What is the difference between Nas.io, which is another platform? And I'm like, okay, I'm still keeping it in my head that Hormozi is invested in it. He's a big following. I appreciate that person so much. So I'm going all in on that. And yeah, then I started my coaching in Skool. I help people grow their Skool community, started from zero. And I worked with a lot of people that have a lot of following as well. And so far, it's been amazing. The journey and like learning everything, learning the skills of sales, marketing. Yeah, and it's been great.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, like I think the one of the principles we can already learn from what you shared is sometimes it's good to be in competitive markets because like there's proof of concept and you can just model what works and it's important. But in some cases, it's actually also good to go some like to blue oceans, as they call them, right? To places where you can create a new category or you can be known for something where there's not much competition. People don't compare you to other people, and that makes sales usually easier. And maybe everyone watching this, you won't be able to do this. Let's say you are in a market that there's a lot of people, that's fine. But even within that, you can always innovate, try to position yourself slightly differently or better, right? And that's a huge, huge advantage to have in business, which you did, right? You're in a market where right now no one is doing it, right? And it's not because like you found this secret. It's just that right now you found the opportunity early, right? You spotted it, you got in, and you're taking massive action, right? It didn't just randomly happen. So big lesson for people watching already. So if they can create a category of one, that would be great. So love it. One of the things that I think might be helpful is focus, right? Because what you just shared, and that's what we have been discussing together for the past month as well, that once we have this thing and that thing and that thing and that thing, how we simplify it, right? What we should say no to, what should we go all in on? And it sounds like that the leap, like that growth that happened in the past couple of months of 10K a month, now 14K a month already, half of the month, is also because of your decision to focus and to go all in. Can you walk people through that? How you made that decision? How important you found focus is for growing your business, and what advice would you share to people or to your past self?
Yeah, 100%. So the biggest thing I came for help with from Harut is focus and the shiny object syndrome. I'm still a big um, person that has a lot of problem
Yeah,
with the shiny object syndrome.
yeah.
I love thinking about new ideas. I love thinking about new opportunities. The biggest thing that stopped me from starting when I started is picking a idea for the community, picking a niche, picking like an avatar. I did not know I want to go global market. I want to go Israel market. I want to go helping people with Skool communities. I want to do this. I want to do that. Didn't find my niche. Focus is the biggest constraint for me. I
Mm-hmm.
still to this point, understanding like, okay, you just need to go to a niche, start something, understand and learn it, and be focused on the actions that actually do stuff and give you results, marketing, and basically sales. And then I believe like if you only think about the one big thing you need to do is the thing that's gonna help you with creating a lot of results. I'm still learning so much. Like I'm still learning so much. I know I have so much things to do now, and but focus is so important here. Like just starting with something and then being focused on the biggest tasks. I feel that's the biggest point.
I love that. And it's so true. And I struggle with shiny object as well. I think most people do, right? And you never get perfect at that, but we all definitely improve. And like it's been amazing to see your journey with that too, right? Even like when we were talking initially, we were doing the first couple calls or like the messages and stuff, and there were a lot of, should I do this? What do you think about this, right? And I remember we were talking, hey, no, you should do this, right? Simple, focus, right? You need to just take enough action on these initial things that we discussed, and seeing how you learned that through experience and practice, which what is usually happens, and like how fast you learn it, I would say as well. Maybe it would seem to you that it wasn't fast, but it's fast. Like making six-figure income already, or on that track, or even more. Yeah, like online with high profit margins, it's really good to
And
see, man. I
it's
agree.
hard. It's
Yeah.
super hard. Like the journey is it's not bright at all.
No,
Like
it's
I
not for
you
the soft-hearted. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's like you can tell them how much I was like going back and forth. Dude,
Yeah.
I don't think I
We're
can do
gonna
it.
get into it.
I need to I should stop. I think it's
Yes.
like yeah.
Yes. And to talk about that, by the way, we're gonna get into the mistakes and stuff, so we can share it as well transparently with people, so it can be as helpful as possible. One of the things that you said were the most helpful to you is the belief, right? And that was surprising and not surprising at the same time, because I've seen that before as well. I think that's what I got a lot of value from as well from my mentors before, when they just said, no, this is it. Like, go after it. You got this. And like, I saw that they really meant it. They didn't just say to encourage it, like they really meant it. And that gave me the confidence, oh, I can do it, right? And you go and take the action and get the results, which is interesting. So talking about that, like, how much do you think it matters having someone or people or yourself believing in that you can do that? Can you walk people through, like, because you shared that it's important, maybe to unpack that a little bit more? Why is it important? How it helped you in these moments where you even thought, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should go and do something else. So yeah, maybe it helps someone.
Yeah, so I think belief have a compounding investing mechanic. Like
Yeah.
it works in a compounding way because at the beginning you had belief in me,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really taking it seriously because you
Mm-hmm.
know you get to know someone, someone doesn't know exactly, they don't know
Yeah.
your work ethics, they don't know what
Right.
you do or not. But at the progress and I started doing some stuff, getting some results, small results, and then when I get to know you and when I get to know your person who's helping you, every time they believe in you in the progress, like after you've done some stuff, it's so much, like it's so much because
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of people, at least for me in my life, that are um, in the game, in this exact game. And when someone believing you and telling you, okay, look, I know you can do it, but genuinely they know you can do it and this is how we're going to do it, and please believe me that I know it looks hard, but I know you can get there. It's so much, and it's not only like one time, it needs to be like 5 times a week and it's like
Yeah.
as much as you feel it, like the small things, I don't know if that will work, what do you think? No, dude, it will work, believe me. Like, and then after 2 days and it feels like annoying, but
Yeah.
that's all I need. That's all I need. Someone who believes in me. For me to believe in myself.
Right. I love that, man. Yeah, it's so important. Like, just because there's so much information out there, right? Different videos, podcasts, like so much of it. There's not a shortage of that. And just making sure that you know you're on the right path, know what to ignore, have that belief, that true, genuine confidence from you and from people that you believe that are telling you the truth, that you are on the right track, gives you that confidence, right? You overthink a little bit less than usual. You don't look here, and you stay more focused, which ultimately gets you to the results, which is really key. So I love that as well. Would you be open sharing maybe a little bit, because this is interesting. I would love to share this with people if you don't mind. What happened in the beginning, like in the first couple of our calls? What happened there? Then why you changed your mind, and maybe we can share that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, right? Is that fine if I share
Yeah.
that? Cool.
100%.
I
100%.
appreciate that.
So I started broke, to be honest. I had
Yeah.
savings, and I used all of the savings to start.
Yeah.
Um, and I was
Which, by the
afraid.
way, I don't always recommend. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah,
people
yeah,
might
yeah.
think we scripted this to say that, so everyone spends their last, like,
Yeah.
no, right? Like being, but yeah,
Yeah.
you
And
can
if I'm
go.
being completely honest,
Yeah,
100% honest, like
yeah, of course.
I'm very independent and I'm doing things on my own, but I
Yes.
do have like parents that love me, and
Yeah,
if anything will happen, they will help me if
of
so I
course.
had this comfortable
Yeah,
bed of like
yeah,
confidence, but it was
yeah.
my savings, and so I started broke savings, and it was super scary. It's the most amount that I've ever invested, and I was just like, okay, let's do it. Started, And of course, as a beginner, you don't become a millionaire in the first week. And you're
Yeah. Oh,
like, okay, I
really?
don't think
Oh,
that can work. I don't think I can work. I don't think
yeah,
that's the best thing. And
right.
I sent Harut a message that I want to stop and I want to, it's not for me. I don't think it can really work. I wanted the exact like tactics and stuff to do. And like, I gave him feedback for that I need like actionable steps. He super took it and we actually did it. But then I was like, I'm not there. I don't think it can work. And then we talked and I understood like how insane my thought was because it's been 2 weeks, nothing. And I remember feeling really, really motivated after that. And then started working again, again and again and again. And you know, as motivation goes down and reality comes in, um, the second time arrived and exact same thing happened again. And I was like, I don't think I can do it. I'm out this time. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't do it. And then that call was a really big awakening for me that this is the end. There's no going back. I'm doing it. You need to understand you committed to something, and there's just facts and works need to get done. And then I remember the belief that kicked in. Like I remember the belief of you're actually gonna get there, and this is how you're gonna get there, and you're gonna suffer so much now, to be
Yeah.
honest. You're gonna suffer so much, but this is the end, and this is how it looks. And I remember feeling, to be honest, like a little, like a crying baby,
Mm,
like that needs to get treated and needs to
yeah.
get like, but I think it's necessary at the beginning at
Yes.
least because this
Yeah.
is growth. Um, so I was a bit shame in myself that I came
Mm,
back twice of wanting to quit. But then I started working back again and I started getting some growth and I started seeing small results. And then it was a bit bigger. And then I was like, okay, I got the idea. I know I can do it. Let's just practically work towards it. And yeah, the rest is history, as you can say.
this is so good, man. Thank you, first of all, for the transparency to share this because most people online, they just say everything is perfect. You can get rich quick. You can do that, which is a lie, right? And it's so cool to see that some people out there think that just because they had a negative thought or like they wanted to stop something or they got overwhelmed, that means that they can never be successful, right? That's what I think. Hey, these successful people out there, they never think these things. They never. But in reality, that's not true, right? And the reason I ask this, and I appreciate you sharing it, is because we all go through it. We all go through uncertainty. I myself, like, there are some days where I think, like, how am I gonna go to the next step? Like, this is the end, right? Where in reality, it's just our brain being super negative. And yes, of course, there will be tough days and bad situations, and really need to be tough and understand it's not gonna be easy. And that's what it takes to grow and to achieve the results that most people don't have. But it's also important to understand that we are not perfect. And as you can see, Yuval, he like felt stopping not one time, two times, right? In a matter of months, which is fine. I felt that as well. And just because he didn't do that, he didn't give in into that emotions, right? He was open-minded. He messaged me. We talked about it, right? And he took the perspective and he went after that and he decided to trust the process, right? And put in the necessary hard work. He got where he is right now. And this is how he's going to keep getting to the next level as well. And this is true for all of the successful people, successful clients, case studies, people that we have, the business partners, that everyone, my mentors that I work with, like these people are like that. They feel like stopping, they feel bad, they feel that something is wrong from time to time, right? And sometimes often, depending on what season you are in. But what they don't do is they don't stop, right? And it's not easy. I'm not judging people that stop or quit because it's not easy. But if you really want to achieve the results, if you really want to become financially free, grow, have impact on people, become your best version of yourself, achieve greatness, right? If you want to do these things, then you can't stop, right? And you need to keep going. And I want to give you huge words of admiration, if we can call it that way, that you didn't stop. Because a lot of people do. A lot of people say, hey, no, they start, they get overwhelmed. They think everything is going to happen in the first week or two. They are going to get perfect clarity all the time, 100%. But no, right? There will be some uncertainty. There will be some action. There will be some learnings and lessons. And the fact that you did that and you kept going and you didn't stop and you didn't complain and you got feedback and you kept learning and till to this day you are executing, that's awesome, man. So huge congrats. I'm really proud of you. And I know that this
Thank
is
you.
just the beginning. So you're gonna
Thank
keep
you.
growing.
And
Of
I have
course.
a point connected to that.
Yeah.
So since I was a really little kid, I had this belief in myself that I'm not consistent person. I can stick with
Mm,
anything. I was learning so many different skills as a kid. 1 week in basketball, 1 week in swimming, 1 week in this and
yeah.
quitting and like
Yeah.
not sticking with anything.
Right.
And then I started working out. And for the first time when I was 22 years old, I started actually sticking with working out. And it
Mm-hmm.
was very weird to me. Like, okay, now I'm a consistent person in this,
Yeah.
apparently. So I'm
Yes.
consistent in this for the first time in my life. And then I remember I told to myself all the time, like, I'm still not consistent with business. I've tried this and I've tried this and I've tried this, and it's so hard for me. And it took me way longer to figure that out. But like, if I can bring someone like one big advice is like, just decide you're gonna stick with it for a year and just see what happens. Like, have this huge goal on your in your head and like, this is what I'm sticking. I'm gonna just do this only. And if it helps you, like I always try to find like mental frameworks that I can practically use. I remember one of them was just sending Harut a message and like asking for help, talking with a friend, asking for help, and like constantly just figuring out the goal. Um, I remember also one call that really changed a lot for me. If we're talking about belief, it's we had one call that we opened a group with myself. I opened a group with myself. It sounds funny, but it called 100K a month Yuval.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just talking with him, and like the only one rule is I can send a positive reinforcement
Mm,
message. There's no, because I figured out I have so much negative talk in my head. So the only thing I can do is send a positive stuff there. So just try to find like practical, because people tell you like you need to believe in yourself, and people tell you like you need to believe that you're consistent. But how do you practically do it
mm,
in the day? These are things that help me. Just talking to myself, saying it's actually gonna happen, and putting the work. Yeah, the work is the most important part, but
yes.
you gotta have some belief in yourself that it's actually gonna happen. And to be honest, I'm still doing this to this day for my
Yeah.
next goals, because I feel like I'm this much in the beginning. Like I haven't made any progress to in my head, but I know I did. So yeah.
I love it, man. Thank you for sharing it. It's such a good practical tip, right? Yes, we all, I do say it all the time. I mean, you need to be consistent, right? But how to do that? And this is one of the practical examples, and I love that. And I'm happy to hear that it's been working for you. And yeah, anything that reminds you about the small wins that you have and puts you to the right mindset, and you see all the progress that keeps you going. And that keeps you to change how you perceive yourself, your self identity, right? Don't say, I'm not consistent, but you have proof, right? As Hormozi says, you have the undeniable stack of proof that you are who
Mhm.
you say you are. So you are developing that. So now you become this new version of yourself. And talking about growth, absolutely, execution is everything. Like we can give the same strategy to do two different people. Someone will not do anything. Another person will grow to 7 figures, right? And it's all the differences how well they execute. And there are other factors, people's environments, their niche, their genes, right? I don't know, the time in the market. There are factors outside of us, but like what you can control is the execution. And one thing that is a fact is the better you execute, the more results you are going to get. So this is awesome. I'm really proud to see your growth. What I want to do is we have about like 20 minutes before the next thing. So uh, I would probably share my screen, and it would be great for us to go through like the big level
Mhm.
strategy on how you can go from here to like 30K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, which I know is your long-term goal as well, and more. And then, of course, after this, we will like together go even into more in depth. But now we'll just discuss the overall strategy, if that sounds cool.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna ask questions to Yuval. And by the way, for everyone watching, these are like real questions. Some of these I don't know, so I'm going to ask to get the clarity. Then we are gonna discuss the plan from now on, because I think now it's going to be relatively simple to scale from here. Not easy, gonna take work, gonna be, but relatively simple because things are already working. So the main things we're going to look for is going to be how to determine what is working and why can't we do way more of that, right? What stops us? Mindset, operational complexity. Do we need to hire someone? Do we need to prioritize some tasks? Like what should be done? How we can do that and start. And again, for the specifics, we are going to discuss it later to not make this call too long. We will do it separately. So that being said, let me share my screen and we can go through it. So the one thing I already asked Yuval is for his 14K so far in the month of February, how it was made. And you said it was 3 times $3,000 sales. It was one annual sale like this, one annual sale like this, $700 a month from affiliates that you make, a $500 a month from your community, right? So for people's clarity, Yuval has a free community on Skool. He has a paid community. He has one-on-one high-ticket programs. And he also has an Instagram where he has about 5.8 thousand followers. And all the traffic, all the sales are coming from Instagram, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect. Awesome. Sounds good. So this is like the overall strategy. So now I'm gonna ask a few more questions and then we're going to go from there. So
And
for
just for
these,
a bit of clarity about the Instagram, I
yes,
started August 24 with 2,000 followers. So the
okay,
growth came in the past 6 months, approximately.
awesome. Got it. And another interesting note is that you are making or already made, let's say 14K, half of the month, so on track to make 20K a month or even more with 5.8K followers. And some people think that they need 100,000, right? When they don't. If you have the right audience, if you make valuable content, you will make money. And of course, you should keep growing, keep trying to get more followers,
Of
absolutely.
course.
But this is a proof for that as well, for people
And
watching.
if I may ask, it's
Yes,
not ask, but say it's
yes.
I'm not maximizing anything in my profile. Just to be
Yeah,
honest, I'm not uploading offers on my story. I'm not uploading, promoting anything. It's literally inbound from my Instagram DMs. So people come up to
crazy.
me and say, I need help with X and Y and Z, and
I
that's
love
the
that.
only source of leads.
I
So
love that.
when I'm gonna maximize it, I believe the traffic will be way higher with 15,800 followers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I think that's what we will discuss today as well, high level, like how we can just do more of that. But this shows that, like, if you post valuable content, in Yuval's case, people message him, right? Inbound people, doesn't have millions of followers or stuff, makes money, works with great people, etc. Now, this takes work for everyone watching. We're not trying to make this seem like it takes work, right? Everything does. But this is possible, more than possible. We have clients making few $100,000 a month, right? Not easy, takes years, especially to that point. But this one can be done, relatively quickly. If you have the right strategy, you love what you do, you're ready to work hard, and you execute. So this is great. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really awesome. So okay, so the traffic for people watching is IG 5.8K followers. This is the offers, right? How we made it. So for the sales process, so people DM'd you on Instagram, then you talk with them a little bit, you jump on a call, and that's how you made these free sales, or how did it happen, or most of the
Yes,
sales?
some of them, I don't have the exact number, but some of
Yeah,
them went to the free community, then they messaged me, and
got it,
then we got on a call. But
got it.
the main source of traffic is Instagram. Like I don't post on YouTube, I don't post on X, I don't post on anything else. My
Yes.
about page is not optimized at all. So yeah, the main source is Instagram. Sometimes they go into the free community where I have uh, like a light course about Skool.
Yeah.
Then they get interested and then they message me and I book a call. Then we go on a call and yes.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. So for people watching, basically there's like things called top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is people that first got to know you, right? They see you the first time. So this is the new traffic. First time that people know about you. Middle of funnel is people that already consume some content. They probably are problem aware. They know that they want to grow, let's say their school group or whatever problem you help them to solve. I don't know, you help people lose weight or whatever. And then the bottom of funnel is people that are very aware, right? They're probably even solution aware. So they know what can work for them, that there's coaching programs out there. They maybe even considered it. They maybe even checked the school or joined it or whatever. So from this, funnel, if we can call it that way, the top of funnel is all Instagram. So everyone that gets to know us first time, vast majority or almost all of them come from Instagram, right? So that's what matters. And then from there, for middle of funnel, we have also a free school group where people can join, get value, and go from there, right? So for the big level strategy is like for the okay, let's get to the close rate for now, so we can then have the time to discuss the high level thing. For this, like, how many calls did you have to have these sales? What's your close rate? Do you track that?
Yes, I track that. It's not accurate as I want it to be,
Yeah,
but it's approximately 35 to 40% close rate.
close rate.
And
Okay,
I think
awesome.
there's two big components to that is the scale of sales. I've been working on it so much. I really was a bad salesperson at the beginning. I took a
Yeah.
lot of sales consultings. I
Yes.
invested in it a lot. And I think that's one of the biggest things that helped me with it. But
Yes.
also, it's the brand. It's the personal brand helped me a lot with it because people know me and people like I'm very open in on my Instagram. I'm very vulnerable. We're talking about everything. They get to
Love
know
it.
me, they connect, and then I think it can help a lot with the close rate.
I agree for sure. Like this is, we have clients that like they learned about us a week ago and they like join the call and they pay like a lot of money right away, which by
Yeah.
the way, for everyone watching, like we have a free community, we have affordable options, we have free content out there. A lot of it is absolutely free, so like it's just for people that really want one-on-one support, which is not everyone, it's not for everyone, it's for the right people. That's who it is for. So not saying this to advertise it, but like, and a lot of it comes from the personal brand, right? People see the results, people see, hey, you help that person, you work with this person, they have seen all the results, testimonials, and all of that, which for everyone watching, you can visit results.achievegreatness.com and you will see that. But yeah, and that works very well. And I agree. Like if you just call the DM to everyone randomly and try to sell them stuff, it wouldn't work as well as you have a personal brand. You have trust, you share people, you document your journey, you share what works for you, what doesn't, you have a personal connection with people. And that's why I think people DM you, they jump on calls, they join with a very good close rate, which is this is great. And again, as you say, it came from repetition, investing in yourself, learning, which is great. But this led to the results, which is awesome as well. Cool. So for the close rate, this is great. By the way, this is an indication that probably the price is okay or good because like if the close rate is too high, let's say 60%, 70%, then it's probably usually an indication that we can increase the prices. But when you are at 35 to 40%, it means that it's great, right? So I would probably
Yeah.
keep it for now. I think it's good. And then later we
I
can
just
increase it.
had a price increase. So the
Yeah.
price was started at 2K, then
Mhm.
followed to 2.7K, and now 3K.
Awesome. Love that. Yeah, I think it's very good gradual increases. So I would keep it at that for now. Do the next, 10 calls, 20 calls, 30 calls, whatever. See what's the close rate. If it's, let's say, 30%, that's good. If it like goes up to 40, 50, right, then I would probably maybe find that balance because usually we want to have about like 35, 40% close rate. That's what works the best. That's when we know like everything is good, right? Of course, we should try to close as much as possible. That's also possible too. You can increase the price and get better sales, attract more qualified people, and that will increase too. But this is good. Cool. So like big level, you pick like create content on Instagram. You have a Skool group where people join. Do you DM them there yourself? Do you try to set appointments, or do you have someone helping you, or it's all you in Instagram DMs and in Skool DMs?
So the bigger growth came when I was doing it myself, actually. I had
Yeah.
someone doing it for me. We had to stop just I don't know why, but I'm planning on bringing someone to help me with that because I'm leaving a lot of money on the table because it takes me a lot of time to follow up to answer. I just saw an Hormozi thing about like following up, like calling a lead within 60 seconds,
Yes.
highest thing
Yes.
to maximize. So I'm gonna focus on that as well. But for now, it's me.
I love that. So the number one focus is more calls booked, right? Because
Yeah.
through calls you make the sales. And interestingly enough, you also recently shared this was also one of the biggest, very simple but biggest realizations you had, which is when we talked about that. Hey, Yuval, if you don't know what to focus on the booking more appointments, more calls, because that's when you talk to your prospects and make them an offer. And if they like it, they can join, right? So the more
Yeah.
appointments you have, if that's how your sales process is, which is in your case, so, you sell with the calls, then you should optimize for that. If someone is watching this, you don't have sales calls, you have a community that you sell, then you should optimize for getting as many people as possible to the about page of that community, watching the VSL, the like a video sales letter, so they can join. Or if you sell in the DMs, then how we can have more DMs, right? That's what you optimize for. But for us, that end point before someone ends up being a client is more calls booked. So I think I already have clarity. So because we have 8 more minutes, I'm gonna right now give like my overall strategy, which is, by the way, very simple. The execution of this is gonna be the thing, but strategy is simple. And then Yuval and I together are going to dive deep more into this. After I have another meeting soon, we're gonna discuss this, and I'm pretty sure we are gonna get to 50K a month for sure. Like you should be there this year. More awesome. I'm not saying gonna be easy, but it's like done, right? Like it's gonna be not hard. So yeah, we're gonna work towards that. But big level, basically, the number one focus right now is gonna be to book more calls booked, and how we get more. What's your process right now? You said you do it yourself, cool. So I think it's at the moment. I would focus on these two things, which we will dive deeper together as well. Number one, I would probably do it ourselves for now if there's anything in the business that we don't have to do, because like setting is also a very high leverage activity, meaning that if we could spend more time and energy on this while sacrificing something that we spend our time that we shouldn't, which we can together will dive deep into to see what you are spending your time on, how you allocate your resources. We will focus on that. But if we can find some other things that are lower leverage or you don't have to do, so you can even spend more time on the setting to grow the company even more, to generate even more appointments and more sales, that's going to help you even more, because then you will have even more cash flow to hire even a better appointment setter. Because the more, of course, you can pay and stuff, the better person we can hire. If we together dive deep into it and we see that you can't do that, or like you are maximized, etc., then we will look into hiring the person right away as well. Both can work, but we can discuss. But this is what usually works best. But basically, the number one focus is to get more books called. How we do that is allocating, right? Or let's say investing more time and attention into the setting process, right? So how do, again, as you said, what you shared is this principle called speed to lead, right? So the quicker we get back to the lead that messaged us, that liked our content, that whatever applied to join our community, the more likely they will take the next steps for us, right? If you respond to someone 1 hour after they showed interest, or 5 days after, or 1 day after, huge difference. So we're going to optimize for that as well. How to increase that? The setter can help with that. You investing more time and attention into it while removing other things. So you can do this. That would be great. So I think number one, focus on more calls booked. Very simple. The second thing, investing more time and attention into the setting process / hiring great setter, which again, there's a lot of things that goes into that. Who should hire, how much we should pay, which we'll get into. But that's going to be the next thing. The third thing is going to be make sure to maintain the high close rate. So right now it's great, high close rate, but still we should not get complacent there, right? And still make sure that it's good. We watch our own calls, we get feedback, and we make sure that that number doesn't decrease. So for the cash upfront, you said from these 3 people, like all of them paid upfront, or was it a payment plan for these 3 people?
So 2 people paid upfront.
Yeah.
And 1 person paid with a payment plan.
Got it. What was the payment plan?
12-month. So there was it's not the best because everybody paid the same price, but some of them I did that the interest rate is gonna go on my expense.
Yes.
Some of them I've done it that the interest rate is gonna go on their expense. But it's basically 12 months, all of them.
Got it. But in terms of, so for the interest rate, do you mean like you used financing? Is that what you mean?
I don't know how it works in other countries. In here, it's like a software that they pay the software month to month, and I get all the money. Yes.
It's
So
financing.
It's financing,
Exactly.
yeah, basically, yeah.
All the 3 people took the financing?
No, so 1 person just straight bank transfer. That was great. The other one was payment plan because he didn't have all the money. And another one,
financing.
the third person financing.
Got it. Okay. So it sounds like that the financing is good. I think the reason I was asking, just for the people watching, is because like we want to understand what is our pay in full rate. So how many customers that we get, how many of them pay in full or prepay, right? And in this case, that's fine. Like it's not the biggest constraint, especially you had only right 3 sales, and we, by the way, didn't cover yet the annual community, decreasing churn there, increasing the members there, increasing the MRR, increasing affiliate commissions, all of that. the client success process, scaling the content. Like there's so much to work on to get to 50K a month and more. Like, but this is good news because we improve only this thing, we can grow. We improve this thing, we can grow. We improve. Imagine step by step, systematically working on all of these things, knowing how to do that and executing, you will get there, right? Will take work, but you
Yes.
will get there. So, but for people watching, why I was asking is to understand that rate, which here it sounds like, let's say, not counting the finances, which we can even count. But if we don't count that, then it's basically 33%, we can say, from these three people that paid upfront, which is not bad. That's fine. Usually, if we get to like, I would say people's opinions differ. I would say 50% or more would be great because I would rather have higher prices. Some people paying with payment plans, but very low prices, everyone paying upfront. So higher prices means that sometimes people won't afford it, but still you will make more LTV, lifetime value, right? So it sounds good. So that's why I was asking, but thank you for sharing that. And now we know so that's not the constraint right now as well. So cool. The number one focus is going to be to book more calls. How we are going to do that? By investing more time attaching to the certain process, which we will discuss how, by eliminating other tasks or hiring a great appointment setter to book more of these sales calls, right? Then maintaining a high close rate. And the last thing that I think is very important to focus on is client success, right? Which we will cover together as well. And we have a very good processes for that. Like in our community, we have at the moment, with scale, it probably will increase, but like we have 1.6% churn or something. So it's very good monthly. 10% or less is great. We have like our clients, usually we get 80%, 81% in the past 3 months was from word of mouth, which means people are happy, like testimonials, all that proof we have that. And that actually helps us to grow our business. It's not only a good ethical thing to do, which is awesome, and it gives you fulfillment. And I really believe it's very important. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this. And I know same for you because you love this market and you love this. And at the same time, the good news about the world is that it also is good for you, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. So that's why we should discuss this together as well to make sure that we do our best to maximize the client success, right? To make sure that people are happy, they refer their friends, and all of that is great. So these are going to be the first steps. Now, I think we have enough audience for now to kind of convert better and in a good way, not in a salesy way. We have inbound leads, how we can just like strategically increase that. Then we book more of these calls, you sell them, and then you are going to get people to help them get the results. And then from there, I think the next step is going to grow the personal brand even more. So how we can create even more content. You said there's so many things you can do to make it better. I think now it's great. Your Instagram is awesome. Right. But then we can even focus on that and then repeat the process. Now we got even more audience. We keep nurturing them. We keep booking calls. We keep working on the systems. We make sure that nothing breaks in the back end. People are getting happy results. We make sure that the business is focused, simplified, everything works, right? And after that, we can like identify the next constraint and go from there. Let's say, then you can say, damn, now I have too many clients, right? How I'm going to handle that? Should we hire someone? How to do that, etc. Then, okay, how we got a bunch of clients. Now we want to scale the community, maybe if you want that as well. How we can grow that? Should we have downsells, upsells, the annual, the product, like line that you will have to make sure that you have like good free community, paid community, annual, and one-on-one. And there's a clear path for people to go from here to here. No offer cannibalizes the other ones. Like it's all great. So these are some things that we might work on after this as well. But big level, again, this is very high level, guys, but this is what we're going to work on. So you see that it's relatively simple if you know what you are doing. The main thing is to execute, to be patient, to learn, right? And to work on things one thing at a time. And then I think with this alone, I think you will get to 50K a month. I don't want to say easily, but pretty simple if you take action. From there, we can discuss, you might need a team member or two. We will see how many clients you have, how you handle. There might be some more operational complexity, not always, but sometimes. And then we can handle that to then scale to 100K. But this is how it's going to look like. So any questions from yourself? Well, of course, we together are going to dive deep even more. But any questions so far on this or thoughts?
No, that sounds exactly what I need. The client success for now feels like the thing I need the most. Just to make sure I'm giving the best service ever.
I love that. I love that.
I do feel like I need to automate some stuff in the content side, like getting an editor, because I'm wasting so much time editing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So when we talked about this second point, amazing question. When we talked about the second point, investing more time into the more leverage activities, how we were going to do it is first identify what you are spending your time in the business. So we're going to do analysis of how you spend your time. And based on that, we were going to identify, okay, you spend time on editing. This is it. What we can outsource, like for the cheapest that has the highest impact, right? Maybe you do this task and this task, let's say editing and something else. Which one will give us back more time and cost less, right? We should start with these ones, delegate them, free up time so we can spend the time on higher leverage activities. Absolutely. That way, yeah,
Exactly.
you can spend more time onto the actual posting more content, doing all these things that we mentioned, right? Because you have limited resources to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed and it's still simple and you grow. And in terms of client success, absolutely. Like we have 5 coaching frameworks that we recommend people that I will probably, I don't know where people are watching this, but I will probably leave that document for free down below, wherever you're watching this, to make sure that I'm not saying this to sell them. You can access it for free, but we will together go through it, that 5 frameworks. And there's a lot to it as well in terms of the community, decreasing churn, how you to approach it. But that can be something helpful as well. 5 coaching frameworks to use to maximize client success when it comes to coaching. And again, to other things, how to actually get people faster, wins, structure the program. Very big thing, get the right clients in the first place. Very huge, right? You need to get the right people in that you can actually help, then going from there. So all of this is a part of that, but we are going to discuss that as well. But yeah, this is high level. Again, we're going to dive deep into everything, the close rate, the other offers, simplifying some things that I might not know because of the limited time we have during now. But once we together dive deep into it as well, we will probably identify even more things to grow. But yeah, this is it, man. And the only thing you need to do is to execute and to, get feedback, and we will discuss that. But I think looking at your hard work, your execution, and your consistency now that you have built, and now you're a consistent person, which we can say, you will get there, man. So this is really cool.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
everything, man. That it's been a great experience. It's been a great journey, and I see so much for it in the future.
I appreciate that a lot. And again, none of this would be possible without your hard work and execution. Like none of this is a get rich quick scheme. All of this is like for people that are ready to execute, are ready to put in the work, right? You don't have to kill yourself and work 22 hours a day, 7 days a week for 5 years to succeed. No, but you still need to be able to put the effort in, be coachable, be serious, right? Do what others aren't willing to do. And if you do that, then you will get there and life becomes great, right? Not perfect, but you achieve your goals. And the personal growth is a very big part of that journey as well, because I'm sure now we got to 15K month, even the half of the month already. You will get to 20, 30, 50 if you keep executing. After that, we still would like to grow, right? And like there will be things to learn. So this is kind of an, never-ending game, as they say, infinite game, right? And the whole purpose is to keep growing, to keep learning, to focus on the process and on the journey. And there will be ups and downs, but if we just keep executing, believe in ourselves, surround ourselves with the right people that gives us optimism, that gives us clarity, and we go and take action, man, we can do it. And I know you have big goals, important goals to support you, support your family, support your friends. It's meaningful, and doing all of this will help you to, accomplish these things and to have the impact that you want. So I'm very excited, brother. I'm excited for your journey ahead. And again, it's been a pleasure working with you. And I'm excited to see how much you're going to grow from this point. So thank you. Hope this was helpful for people. If you guys have any questions, wherever you are watching this, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to us and ask. And if you want more content like this, more case studies like this, let me know. And Yuval, thank you for being so transparent, open, sharing your knowledge. That's really
My
helpful.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye.